So we are up at the base of the Rim Rocks here at MSU Billings in the athletic department, talking about MSU Billings sports. I am Jeff Welsh, the sports editor of the Billings Gazette, and Lee Montana, executive sports director. And joining us right now is Kevin Woodin, 13-year coach of the women's basketball program here, the pride of Libby, Montana, from the other side of the state. And Kevin, thanks for joining us here. And we talked with Alicia and Riley about the culture of this program, and that's what I want to ask you first about is when you come in here, what is a vision that you have for a D2 basketball program?
I think it's to be, great in three areas: academically, also in our community, and then on the court. And we just have very high expectations of those three areas. You have to recruit the kind of player that you will trust and that can has that work ethic. Not just during the season, but that you build a relationship, and that when they leave you for 3 or 4 months in the summer, that you know that they're going to be improved as a player, and that's really hard to do. It's easy to be able to say that, but to know that they come back and that they're going to be better is very important. We want to build a culture that where team chemistry is extremely important. Communication, I believe, is one of the greatest things, in as far as on a team, is how you communicate to your players, how they communicate to each other, our staff through our athletic department, etc. But I want them to come here, I hope, really enjoy their experience from a basketball standpoint, to be a great competitor, get to travel, get part of their education paid for, but at the same time learn to appreciate that. We've had 100% of our seniors graduate, and that's really the stat that we're most proud of, because when it's all said and done, we want them to be effective in whatever community they move to. And overall, it's worked for us to recruit mostly regionally. I mean, I would say 90% of our players are usually from Montana. I grew up in Montana. I coached in Seattle for a while, but then was a girls coach at Billings West, and I really believe in the talent for girls basketball in this state. And as long as it's working, we're going to keep doing it.
Talk a little bit about that. As I look at the roster, it looks to me that you've had 2 out-of-state players, and so you're able to build a program and sustain a program that is strong both on the court and off the court with Montana players.
Yeah, it's just something that we start with. I mean, I don't have a budget where I can go overseas and go across, go see every JC tournament, etc.
You don't have a chartered jet here at the
Not quite. So, I mean, I could though sign more players from out of state. It seems to work for us. So if we're able to get some of our top choices, we will continue to do that. And we have a nice mixture from AA to A to B to C. We get all of them represented. And I don't know, I think my 10 years as a high school coach in Montana, I gained a lot of relationships and trust of coaches throughout the state. So, when they tell me, hey, you need to come look at this player, I know them, I can trust them, and we will. And, some of the recruiting stories, as you know, like I remember when we I went to Seiko to recruit Annie DePute, who was a very good player for us. They were playing 5-on-5, and the coach was playing. I think they had 1 7th grader and 1 8th grader out there as well, just so that they could get 10. And but just had a hunch that she could help us, and she came and was a solid player for us. And I like those kind of stories. I think that these gals are tough, and I think when they put on that Montana jersey, they feel some pride in that.
I hope you took your mosquito spray when you went to Seiko, but this mosquito capital of the world, in case people didn't know. I think people would be surprised at the caliber of Division II basketball if they haven't really been exposed to it. And I just wonder if you are surprised sometimes that you are able to play to compete at the level you do with Montana kids. This is a big state with a small population.
Yeah, the GNAC is loaded as far as talent. I mean, I would put some of our top teams against Division I programs. We don't have as many scholarships. we're in that 9 to 10 scholarships, whereas a lot of them have 15. But you look at teams like if you ever go up to Alaska Anchorage and the facilities they have, and they're maxed out as far as scholarships, and the Simon Fraziers and the Western Washington, Seattle Pacific. I mean, they're tremendous basketball programs, and they are large cities, etc. So I think there's a little bit of a chip with our players. Like, hey, we small town people, we can play with them. We have great talent too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Alicia Breen. I think. I'd be selfish, but I don't know of a better player in Montana at any institution right now. I would put her above anyone. A few years ago, we had Bobby Knutson, who's a Division I talent. She just ended up going here, and we don't get caught up in D1, D2, NAIA. We just get caught up in, if you come here, are you going to be a yellow jacket, put that on, and are you going to work hard to get yourself better and be a good teammate and put our team first? And if we can do that day to day and continue to get better, then I think the sky's the limit. We're fortunate to get to travel to some of these great places, but it's a competitive league and with great teams. And what I've noticed, the top half has continued to get better, but the bottom half has gotten stronger too. So really, it's with the amount of travel you have to be ready.
With your limited budget for travel and recruiting, how do you find the Alicia Breens of the world? I mean, she's playing over in Shoto, the name's in the paper and on TV from time to time, but how do you identify these players, these nuggets that are in some of these small towns?
Just through hard work, trading of names, etc. Travel across the state when you can, see a player, hear of them. AAU basketball is kind of taken over now. There's Montana teams that are, combining with Spokane area teams, and they go. I can think of Alicia. When I watched her play out at, I believe it was an Oregon City tournament. I really didn't think I had a chance. When you go out there, and some of them they mix with some of the big city gals. For me, I almost want them not to play very well. That would be better for me. But when I'm sitting there, for instance, and watching her, she played really well there. The Cats and the Grizz, I don't whether they just didn't want to offer. They didn't. She had I believe, an offer from Idaho State, but then they rescinded. We kind of got in there. Once I can get in there and try to do a home visit, present what we do have, which is I think we have. A roster made up of a lot of people just like you. And you can see that, hey, Bobby from Class B Malta has been successful here, and things like that. And that, we're going to try to do the very best with what we can. We're going to play a very tough schedule. We're going to travel. It's going to be fun. You can get an education. And then it's a lot of phone calls and just seeing the players. Recruiting has really changed over the last 13 years, as does scouting. I can remember with scouting being VHS, copy into VHS, calling coaches to, hey, can I trade you a tape for a tape? Then we went to DVDs now, and then flash drives. Now everything's just on the internet. I don't know if I can keep up with this.
Join the club.
I'm a little bit behind the curve on that, but I do. I just think it's relationships and trust. I'm not afraid to ask a parent from Malta to call a parent from Shoto and say, hey, this is the kind of experience my daughter had. Maybe you should at least give this person a chance.
Let's talk about the current team you have this year. You are the defending coach of the year, reigning coach of the year. You've been in the NCAA tournament through the past 3 years. What are your expectations this year? And you start with a couple of pretty good players who were just here.
Yeah, I try to stay away from outcome-based goals. I mean, they know and I know. I mean, but we want to be the best each week. The thing I really enjoyed about last year is I knew we had a good team, but they continued to get better. They defended really well. They played as a team, and I think we kind of caught a few people by surprise. This year, we're voted higher in the preseason poll, so we have an preseason All-American Alicia, so we have a great player, but the league is loaded again, and what you have to do is you need to defend your home court, and then you got to go and steal a few on the road. And if you can do that, you can make that top 6 and go to the tournament. You have a chance to make noise. I think we can be better than we were last year, but last year we were pretty injury-free. We won a lot of close games, and those aren't things that you just happen the next year. You just kind of have to go with it, and I'm hopeful that we will get better again each month. I really like the chemistry of the team. I think we've got some new recruits that are going to help us. I think we've gotten bigger as far as size, but I think we're still athletic. So I think the sky's the limit out there, and can't wait to get started.
Before we let you go, maybe a synopsis of the strength of this team or the strengths, and are there any areas of, let's say, for improvement that maybe you have some concerns about going into the season?
Well, some of the strengths are, you talked to a couple of those already. Riley is a third-year starter. She's just a junior, but anytime you have somebody that's been your point guard for that long, I was just telling her the other day that I rarely even yell at her anymore. She just kind of gets the ball to the right place now. She understands what we want to do, etc. And then we have a versatile team, and I think in Division II, if you are versatile, that helps you. You don't have the 6'4", 6'5", 5 player a lot, so you need people that if they can play multiple positions, that goes a long way. We're lucky in Alicia, our best player. She really can play all 5 positions, so if we have some foul trouble and maybe one, she can play more minutes at others. I think we have to, again, be a defensive-minded team first. If we do that and we can rebound the ball like we did last year, I think that'll go a long ways. Then a couple areas that we need to improve on is I think we need a little more depth than we had last year. And I think we have the opportunity to do that, but that's whether it be a Grace Weeks coming in from Casper College or a Taylor Cunningham, a freshman, we need 2 or 3 of our new players to give us quality minutes consistently. And then a big part of us is if we can consistently shoot the three-pointer at a good rate, because it opens up some space for us. And I think we have multiple shooters there, but 2 or 3 of them that just haven't done it consistently in games. I need them to be able to do that. And if we do that, I think we can be really good.
All right, Kevin Woodin, we know you're going to be there at the end. You always are. Good luck. Have a great season this year, and we'll be keeping tab.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on.
Good to see you. When we come back, the men's basketball program will be joining us this afternoon to talk about their expectations and hopes for the year. And you're listening to Billings Sports Talk on KBLG.